Shalom, Israel, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We've been on these streets since 1969, trying to teach the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians their true nationality, right? Okay, what we're going into today is who are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, right? First thing I want you to, we're going to get is why. Why is this a hot topic and why is it relevant? Because we've been on these streets, as I said earlier, since 1969, trying to teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians their true race and nationality, right? And now you have it that the Most High is opening up the floodgates where our people are starting to see this truly. So what I want is to bring it out so that our people know what this is all about. We're going to start with the progenitor or the father of our race. Who is the father of our nation or the father of our race?
Jacob.
Raise your hand next time because there's two of us. But not Jacob. Paratza.
Abraham.
No. The father of our race, yeah.
The father of
Our race, our nation. Yes. Who did this all start with? Who is the Alpha and the Omega? Who is the Alpha?
you're talking about the Most High.
No. Who's the Omega?
I don't know.
Y'all should know this. I'm gonna give y'all a sec while I find the exact what's it called, but y'all should know who is the Omega. There's Revelations 1 and 11. Salaki, I'll start at 8. There's Revelations 1 and 8. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is and which was and which is to come, the Almighty. Who is the Alpha and the Omega? Who's that talking? Who's talking in Revelations, the first chapter? Khan.
That's Christ. Because it say to who is to come.
Right. So who's the Alpha and the Omega? We understand the Omega is Christ. Who's the Alpha? Khan.
The Father.
No. Who's the Alpha? He's the ending. Who's the beginning? He took sin out of the world. So I'm asking. Khan.
Are you not talking about Adam?
I am talking about Adam.
I was going to say Adam, but I'm like, the way.
What is Christ's first incarnation?
Adam.
I am the Alpha and the Omega. I started this. Adam created the law. Adam established the idea of a nation, of a civilization, of a race, right? That's where this all started from. That man having the breath of life breathed into him. Now, Baba Shah, give me Genesis 1 verse 20. No, matter of fact, give me 26. Yeah, give me 26. Okay? Now, that's what this is about. God made all creatures. We're all God's creatures, right? We all bleed red. But here's the thing. I'm going to explain the difference between you and me, right? Our people and Adam's people. And we're going to help us understand who the 12 tribes are. Because the 12 tribes are the people who are different, who put on Adam's spirit. You got it?
Come.
Give me 1 and 26.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image.
In what?
In our image.
Let us make man in our image, right? In our reputation, to be like us. What did the angels show in the scriptures before this point? That they could follow orders. They could carry out orders, right? Keep going.
After our likeness.
Right.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea.
Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea. Keep going.
And over the fowl of the air.
Right.
And over the cattle.
Right.
over all the earth,
right?
and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Now, what is that talking about? Who knows? Anybody?
Are you talking about all the creepy things?
Well, the whole verse, 26. We'll break that verse down. What is it talking about when it says all the creeping things? What is it talking about when it says you have dominion over everything on the earth? 1 and 26. Hi, you got an idea? La? Khan.
When you're talking about all the creepy things, you're talking about all life that's on the earth.
Yes, all life that's on the earth. When you have dominion, what does that mean?
So like you said, what it means that you have control.
You have control, but how do you have control?
How the how is coming from the Most High. The Most High told me that I don't have control.
How? How do I have control?
I don't understand.
How do I have the scripture says I have dominion over the animals? How do I have dominion over the animals?
So if you're not saying that you getting somebody is placing you in charge. You're not saying that. I don't know if you said, because I'm saying if you've been the dominion, you know what I'm saying? Somebody have to appoint you over the creepy.
Yeah, that's what the Christ and the angels did. So how is that dominion shown? How do I have dominion over the animals?
By cultivating I'm lost on the question. Slots.
How do I show I have dominion over all the animals? How do I show I'm above them?
Well, by telling them what to do.
You can tell an animal what to do.
Well, but you can train the animal.
You can train a lion not to eat sheep.
Um, uh,
You can train a lion not to eat sheep.
No, I didn't hear you.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can train a lion not to eat sheep. How do I have dominion over him?
I don't know. I don't know how you could, you know what I mean?
No, show how do you show dominion or power over him? Simple. Don't who you decide who gets to live and die every day. I decide chickens die every day, but pigs never die. I decide cows die every day. Kangaroos never die. This scripture is about law. That's what this is about. As I explained in the beginning, verse 26, let us make man in our image. What's their image? Their reputation. Christ and the angels showed they have the reputation to follow out the Most High's laws, to follow out instruction. You can't teach a lion not to eat sheep. That's what it was made to do. Bears are naturally omnivorous. They eat whatever they want. You can't teach them otherwise. Humans, you can teach otherwise. Right? Let us make man in our image, that they have dominion, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and so on and so forth. Right? That's what the scripture is talking about. Law. Now, does this say that it gave them law? Or that they had the ability to obey law? Now hear that good. Does this say they have the law or they have the ability to obey law?
so I'm just confused. When
God.
you say give they,
Give them law, meaning he created mankind here. Did he give mankind the law here, or did he just give them the physical ability or mental ability to keep the law? To keep law.
gave him the mental ability to keep it.
Right. He didn't give them law. When did the law officially come on the earth? Do you know? Khan.
For the scripture now, but when the Most High blew the breath of life into Adam,
Right. Give me Genesis 2 and verse 7. Okay. And this is the breath of life. Now, the first thing you need to understand is all life already existed on earth. This is sometime after that we're talking about Adam, right? And we're going to get the law. Now, what is the precept for this? So you can cut a Christian. Paratza?
say that question again, sir?
What's the precept to cut a Christian who might think this is talking about literal breath? God literally breathed into Adam. What's the precept? Hi, you know? Okay, read what you got in Genesis. Paratza, you got your Apocrypha? Let me get Baruch 4:1. Ha, you got it? Genesis?
Khan. This is Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Most High power formed man of the dust of the ground.
Formed man of the dust of the ground. Now, half the reason I brought this out is because you have idiots. What is man's name? What is man in Hebrew? Do you know? There's 2 words, but I just need one right now, more specifically. Do you know? Anybody know? Paratza, do you know? What is man in Hebrew? There's 2 words that are commonly used.
Man in Hebrew,
Man, yes. Adam. Adam and Ayash. But many times you'll see Adam for like man, or in some instances, mankind. Khan. Adam is man, or Adam. Now, does anybody know what Adam actually translates to in Hebrew? Because you'll have idiots who say Adam means red in Hebrew. That's not true. That's clearly not true. That is like literally, clearly not true. I read the Hebrew. Like I have seen this verse. That is not true. Read verse 7 from the top, Baba Kushah.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Most High power formed man of the dust of the ground.
And from the what?
Dust of the ground.
From the what?
Dust of the ground.
From the what?
Dust of the ground.
That's what Adam means. From the dust. When you look this word up, it's Adam, Adama. The Most High made Adam, Adama, from the dust. Ma, if you understand the Hebrew, Adama would be feminine. So you take off the ha at the end. Adam. Adam's name means up from the dust, or from the dust. Okay? It has nothing to do with the color red. Right? You got Baruch, right? 4:1. What, you need your glasses, son? Okay. Keep going, Har. Baba Kushah.
And breathe into his nostrils the breath of life.
The what?
Breath of life.
The what?
Breath of life.
What you looking for? Oh, come on. Yeah. The breath of life. Why? Now, what is that? Not you, brother. Hi, what is that? What is the breath of life? What is the breath of life?
I'm not sure, sir.
Paratazar, read what you got.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the power.
What? Read that. Yeah, can read it from the top.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of power.
Of the power, right? The commandments of God, right? Keep going.
And the law.
The what?
And the law.
And the what?
And the law.
The commandments of God and the law, right? Keep going.
That endureth forever.
For what?
Forever.
Keep going.
All they that keep it shall come to life. Come to life.
To what?
To life.
To what?
To life.
Keeping the law is what gives you life. This is life. When you see the Bible talking about life, it is talking about the law. He breathed life into Adam, meaning he gave Adam laws. Thou shalt not kill. Don't commit adultery. Deal with women within your family, right? He gave Adam law. He gave Adam culture, which he used to create a nation, right? He separated himself from everybody else. I don't eat what everybody eats. I don't eat like everybody eats. No one else had the concept of cooking food before Adam. The idea of law and order, skipping ahead a bit, comes from the Israelites. The world was mostly Darwinistic before us. Meaning what? If somebody killed your husband, if your husband wasn't rich and powerful, you were ate out. You were asked out. So, excuse my French. Right? A king's going to look at you, or a lord of your land is going to look at you and be like, I hear you, but we have enemies attacking us from the rear. I'm supposed to pay someone a salary to find your husband's killer? I'm sorry, sis, I feel bad, but yeah, no. And then they saw the Israelites and realized we actually took time out to help the widow. We created what's known as a justice system. Right? And that justice system is now the basis and foundation of all law and order across the planet. Right? That started with this. Read that from the top, Paratza.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of power, and the laws that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, come to live.
Come to life.
Come to life.
Meaning what? You will live. You will, meaning what? Our people right now are dead and destroyed. That you find that in the Bible. And you think the Jewish man don't know this? The Jewish man knows about the valley of dry bones. The Jewish man knows about those scriptures. He's afraid of you coming back to life. That's why you're seeing Kyrie Irving be dragged through the mud right now. Right? Keep going.
But such as leave it shall die.
And they see that we're dead. That we're just a valley of dry bones. We're completely destroyed as a race and as a people. Right? As leave it shall die. Meaning our people would be destroyed if we didn't keep our culture. And that's what you see here today. Right? Now, hard, drop that. Give me chapter 12. Right? So we're going to skip ahead, right? All the way to the progenitor of our physical nation known as Israel. And where Israel comes from. Okay, Israel comes from a man named Abraham. Okay, a descendant of Adam. And we're going to break this down. Abraham, Adam, and Eve were related. If you want, y'all could go back. We got plenty of classes to explain. Knowing the flood, We're going to skip over that today. Adam and Eve were related. After this, Adam decreed all his children should do the same. After a certain point, his children stopped listening, except for one man by the name of Noach, and who you know as Noah. Noah and his sons listened and were saved by the Most High, the only 8 people on Earth's history to be saved by water. Right? Long of the story short, Noah's descendants, his 3 sons, one of them was named Shem, which is where you get this term Shemite. A Shemite, Jews are not the only Shemites. There's like 5, 6 nations. Really about 6, 7. Yeah, about 7 nations that come out of Shem. Israel is only one of them. But these idiots are so, what's called, simple. They want to call anybody an anti-Semite. Shem created about 7 nations. I don't even feel like naming them right now. But if I'm not mistaken, I know 5 are Hebrew. Right? And for those who don't understand what that means, Hebrew is a man by the name of Eber. 5 of Eber's children or descendants turned into nations. The Jewish man does not know the Bible. I'm going to just let y'all know that. Go up to a Jewish man and ask him where the hell a yarmulke comes from. Show me a yarmulke. Moses put on his yarmulke in the Bible. I can show you where it says he told Ezekiel to tie his mitri. No, tie his bandana. I'm sorry. But yeah, that fur hat y'all wear, yeah, we not wearing that in the kingdom. You know how hot Israel is? The average, half the year it's 90 degrees. Y'all wearing that, yeah, all right. Them hot ass suits, man. Give me 12 and 1.
Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Now the Most High had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house.
Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house. Keep going.
Unto a land that I will show thee.
Who does that sound like, Hayala?
Who does that sound like?
Khan. Peraza. Who does that sound like?
So if I may, it sounds like we're talking about Abraham. I think it was also says it back in when Adam have to leave out of his house from his mother and father when he married Eve.
No.
It sounds like
who has to leave everything they love to follow the Most High? Everything they had. Abraham's father was an idol worshiper. Abraham's father didn't follow the Most High. Khan.
Christ.
No. Yes, but no. Who does that sound like? Who has to leave their people to follow the Most High? Abraham's father worshiped the stars and had feasts for the stars. Stop doing that. That's what the Most High said. Leave him. Stop even being around him. Who has to do that? Khan. Give him a hand. This is why Christ said in John the 4th chapter, the Most High looks for true worshipers who will worship him in spirit and in truth. Because you have to have the spirit, you have to, I'm paraphrasing, ye are Abraham's seed. That's why we're Abraham's seed. Because we walk like Abraham. We see everything that our family's doing, and we choose to serve the Lord righteously and properly. Terah knew the truth, Abraham's father knew the truth. But you know what? I'm going to worship these stars, though. I'm going to make false idols, if I'm not mistaken. Abraham's father was an idol maker, right? But the Most High saw something in Abraham and said, "No, you're better than your father. You look at your father like he's stupid half the time. Like you see his father playing up the stars. Now, while you're looking up at the stars, somebody put a gun to the back of your head and then rob you. Like, what are the stars gonna do for you? Right? Keep reading, verse 2. So he made this deal with him. And here's what happens if Abraham listens. Keep going.
Verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation,
Right?
and I will bless thee,
And he will bless him. Keep going.
and make thy name great,
And make his name great. Keep going.
and thou shalt be a blessing.
And you will be a blessing. Keep going.
Verse 3. And I will bless them that bless thee,
Right?
and curse them that curse thee.
Yeah, some idiot, some drug addict, pop star tried to talk about Kanye West, right? Now that drug addict is dead. That drug addict is dead now. You cannot, don't talk about what's going on right now. Don't talk about the children of Israel. Even in his stupidity, he will fight for us. That is the deal that Abraham made. I'll bless them that bless you, and curse them that curse you. Right? That's what happens. White drug addicts will die. They talk about you. And you're about to see this Jewish man go through so much worse for what he's trying to do. Keep going.
And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
And what does that mean? We're the ones that make this world great. We are the salt of the earth. Right? And that's the problem. I explained this at camp. How does the world work if we're working for ourselves? Who's going to buy all these luxurious things? Who's going to buy all these luxurious things if we don't? If we have our own Negro leagues, y'all really gonna have white boys in basketball, just a white basketball league? Good luck with that. You know, because of our poverty, Brittany Griner's in a Russian prison. Brittany Griner's not the only one. She's just not LeBron James. Like, what do I mean by that? There are men that have to do that too. Like, if you're one of the bench dudes on the Cleveland Cavaliers, you're going to Italy. Because you still have to make ends meet. Right? And Kanye West is considered evil because he says we're being abused by a certain race of people. The people that are responsible for Brittany Griner being in jail. And because they're responsible. I bet you look up Brittany Griner's team. I bet you they're very, very white. They're very, very well paid rich white men. You want to talk about the WNBA not getting money? Blame their Jewish owners. Right? That's the truth. All families are blessed because of the work that we do for them. You know how much money? Let me explain something to you. Let me explain slavery real quick to you. Do you know how stupid it is to have Michael Jackson as your personal fiddler? That's chattel slavery. Dr. Dre, the inventor of beats. I give him a nice hot shower, right? Put on a nice suit for him, and he entertains my guests on the weekends. You know that man's made iPhone billions, right, by this point? iPhone made billions of Dr. Dre's beats because he sold it to them, probably at this point. Now, stupid you look? You see the problem here? This is slavery. This is why you had to be allowed to frolic. That's it. You lose money. Why? The North to a point started and said, y'all are stupid. Y'all are literally, understand, there were white people dying of simple heart problems because 2 black men invented heart surgery. And had you not freed them, at least by that time, more white people would have died. We give this earth flavor, and you are blessed by us. You are not blessed by the Jewish man. Only famous Jewish person I know is Houdini, honestly. Black people invented Braille. White people, anytime you're so thankful about the actual Matt Murdock, for those that aren't familiar, that's like Daredevil. He's a lawyer, a blind lawyer. Yeah, if you're some successful blind person inside of white people's society, thank a black man by the name of Benjamin Banneker. White people, blind white people learned how to read from a black man. Your elderly parents would die of heat failure if it wasn't for our air conditioners. You know how many people we saved in World War II with the gas mask? How many? Be thankful every time your parent comes home from work, and because there wasn't a traffic accident, because we have a street light. Right? You have to say something, Paratiza? Khan. I should have gave you a mic, but it's too late right now. Khan. Salakia, give me what you got.
Verse 4. So Abram departed.
He what?
He departed.
The what?
Departed.
He departed, right? So Abram departed. And now drop that, give me verse, give me what is it, 17? Chapter 17, verse, I gotta get it right. Verse 17 and 17. So we're gonna get the birth of Abraham's son, Isaac, his only son, Isaac. And I say that again, only son, Isaac. And if you want, I'll pull that for you. The only son of Christ of Abraham is Isaac. Right? Read what you got.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 17. And Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a son be born unto him that is 100 years old?
I'm going to have a son at 100 years old, because Abraham was in his old age at this point. Keep going.
And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear?
Meaning his wife was 10 years younger than him. She was 90. Keep going.
18. And Abraham said unto the Most High, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee.
Now, let me explain this to you. Who is Ishmael? Khan, Peraza.
Ishmael is Abraham's first son.
Right? Give me more.
Oh, and also he's the progenitor of the Arabs.
Give me what I want. Give me, why is he saying, why can't Ishmael be the one? Why can't Ishmael be the one? What you gonna say? Why?
Because it was what because it was already predestined for Isaac.
No. There's a specific reason. How, you know?
My guess would be because his mother was a heathen.
Yes. Give him a hand. That's exactly it. Hybrid. We don't want no half-breeds. God wanted his race purebred. Khan. Right. Ishmael is that woman is his mother is Egyptian. He's a Hebrew. His mother's Egyptian though. And this is the thing. They try to swindle our people. I'm noticing the Jewish man tries to swindle our people into believing that this has nothing to do, Judaism has nothing to do with bloodline nationality. That's a goddamn lie. This nation was created and split because one person didn't have the right mama. Since y'all love the mother so much, right? But isn't that so? It's not about blood, but your mother makes you Jewish. What type of backwards nonsense is that? Pretty sure Hagar kept the law. If you read the verse before, if you read this verse, he requires everybody to be circumcised, and it lets you know Ishmael was circumcised. So it's not about keeping the law. Keeping the law means nothing. Your blood actually does mean something. Keep going.
18. And Abraham said unto the Most High Power, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. 19.
Keep going, yeah.
And the Most High Power said, Sarah, thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed.
Sarah, thy wife shall bear thee a son. Right? Your wife, not the I don't want to call her a sex slave, not the slave you're marrying, not the heathen you're having sex with. Your wife. Keep going.
And thou shalt call his name Isaac.
Thou shalt call his name what?
Isaac.
Keep going.
And I will establish my covenant with him
Keep going.
for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him.
And with what?
His seed after him.
No, anybody.
His seed after him.
So whoever keeps the law.
His seed after him.
Noahide law.
His seed after him.
If you are not Isaac's seed, this has nothing to do with you. You cannot be considered a part of our nation, right? You cannot be considered. Here's what I am breaking down to you. God made a covenant with Abraham, right, to reestablish the nation or civilization that Adam created. Adam destroyed his civilization when he, followed behind his wife and served Satan. We skipped over that part because for time's sake, but that's basically what happened, right? God is allowing Abraham to reestablish that nation through a contract and a covenant that will go through his line from his son Isaac and then to his son Jacob, who we will get next, right? If you are not a part of that bloodline, you in no way have any stake to this contract. This is plain as day for everybody, right? Salakia, let's get more plain of day, because I'm just speaking out my mouth. I'm saying words that aren't even really there. So let's get it. COV. Covenant. Translates the Hebrew noun barayath, or barith in Yiddish. Verbal root of barith means either to fetter or eat with, which would signify mutual obligation, or to allot, which would signify a gracious disposition. Compare the Hittite suzerainty covenant, in which a vassal swore fealty to his king out of gratitude for favors received. In the OT, Berith identifies three differing types of legal relationships. What makes any legal relationship legally binding? What do you call that? Khan. Right. Your last will and
Testament.
same word. Right? Now, so that's that. Right? He established a contract, a legally binding contract with our nation, our physical bloodline, Abraham's seed. Right? So now we're going to get to the next part of this. Give me We don't necessarily need their births. 27, chapter 27, verse 27, verse 27. All right. There's it right here. Khan.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 27. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his remnant and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field, which the Most High hath blessed.
Right? Because his brother went in looking like Esau, the so-called white man, our brother, our older twin brother. Right? Keep going.
Verse
This
29.
is Jacob going to his father Isaac to receive his blessing in the covenant. Matter of fact, in a minute, we're going to go back and we're going to get that, but let me get this first.
Verse 28. Therefore, the power give thee of the dew of heaven.
The dew of heaven. Keep going.
And the fatness of the earth.
And the fatness of the earth. All the beautiful things on the planet will belong to us, the 12 tribes of Israel, Jacob's children. Keep going.
And plenty of corn and wine.
And plenty of what?
Corn and wine.
Meaning, keep going. Meaning what? We won't want for anything. Keep going.
29. Let the people serve thee.
What?
Let the people serve thee.
What?
Let the people serve thee.
Keep going.
And nations bow down to thee.
How dare you niggas say y'all Jews? You know what that means? That means you want nations to bow down to you. We're the only ones who are allowed to believe that. Here's the truth. I've been saying this a lot. People don't like us because we expose what the Jewish man actually believe. Y'all think we're not crazy. We're just crazy because we're black. We're not crazy because we're what we say. We're crazy because we're black and we say it. That's what's crazy. Keep going. Bow down to
Be
me.
Lord over thy brethren.
Be Lord over thy brethren.
And let thy mother's sons bow down to thee.
Meaning what? We're going to be above all our brothers. You know our brothers, the Jewish man. The Jewish man, as I said earlier, the white man is our older brother. And we're going to be lords over him. We're going to rule over him. And he doesn't like that. He doesn't even want to hear that. So when he hears we're going to become DEFCON on him, which I'm just going to explain to you, that's a defense maneuver. That's not offensive. DEFCON is about defense, not offense. Read on.
Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. 30.
This is exactly what he told Abraham, right? This is exactly what he told Abraham. Everyone who blesses us will be blessed. Anyone who curses us will be cursed. Right? Keep going.
Verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an
Okay,
end.
you can drop that. Now drop that. Give me 25 and 25. No, 25 and let me get 23. Right? And we're going to show you the racism that's in this Bible. Y'all want to talk anti-Semitic. The Bible is racist. Anti-Semitic. The Bible is anti-Semitic.
Right.
What the hell is anti-Semitic? You don't like Shemites? God don't like Shemites. God is literally eradicating an entire race of Shemites. I hope you know that, right? That's in the Bible. What are Edomites? Khan. Right. God calls the Arabs his enemies. What are the Arabs?
Shemite.
And I've been saying that since a child. Since before I was even in the truth. Because I always knew about Hagar and Ishmael. I'm like, that would always confuse. How? They're Shemites too. Arabs are Shemites. Palestinians are Shemites. How can they be anti-Semitic? Keep going. Read what you got, verse 23.
Genesis chapter 25, verse 23. And the Most High said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
2 manner of people, 2 different ways of thinking, right? Shall be separated from thy bowels, right? Keep going.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
So now you're seeing God made a clear distinction. One of these races is going to be stronger than the other. Keep going.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
And the older brother is going to be the servant of the younger brother. That's racism. Khan.
So if I may, so what do I don't know if you know, but what do the Jewish men say whose Esau is? Because it seems like they only walk around, they're the only people of the Bible, but they're saying that there's nobody else left in the Bible but them.
No, they'll say we're him.
Hamites, them and Hamites, but there's nobody in between. So who is Esau? Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he's gone. I have seen some say we possibly are, but those are the fringe ones that they are Esau. But yeah, but for the most part, they don't exist no more. Khan.
So if I may, so only people who exist in the Bible is the Hamites and Ishmaelites and them.
So stupid, right? So now we see that, right? So now let's get to it. Abraham ended up having his 12 sons, which are the 12 progenitors of the nation of Israel. Now give me Genesis, the 49th chapter, the first verse. Because now you got another thing. You got idiots that say, Salakia, before you get that, did you pull it already?
Lie.
Before you pull it, Salakia, I got a question for y'all. How do you prove the northern kingdom still exists? Meaning, if I say right now, the northern kingdom no longer exists, prove it. Prove that the northern kingdom does exist. How would you prove that? Khan.
So, it was for reference, but it was still northern kingdom was still living in Israel.
No, I mean today.
Oh, today.
Yeah, I proved the northern kingdom exists today. There's 2 basic ones. There's about really three. Now that I think about it, you could use that.
Well, when he was talking about that, when Christopher Columbus came over here, he had Hebrew translators, and it's speculated by reading.
I mean biblically.
Biblically.
Use the scriptures. Give me a precept. 12 tribes don't exist anymore. It's only the southern kingdom. Northern kingdom doesn't exist. Khan.
Assyrian.
How you got any idea?
Allah, sir.
Let me get Genesis 49 and 1.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Verse 2. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
Right.
Verse 3. Reuben.
Wait, read verse 1 from the top.
Verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I might tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
So you got it now, Paratha? Read it again.
And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I might tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
In the what?
In the last days.
In the what?
In the last days.
So you'd have to exist to be in the
last days.
But they can't exist. So how are they in the
last days?
So that means they exist. Another precept, and if you had given me this, I would have said only Revelations, the 7th chapter. How is there 12,000 out of each nation in Israel if the 12 tribes don't exist? Right? Because there's going to be 12,000 Ephraimites, 12,000 Manassites, 12,000 Simeonites. That's in Revelations. How's that possible if these people don't exist anymore? Your pastor does not know the Bible.
Yeah, man, Salaki, but
Come on.
Because I've heard a Christian try to combat that, but I already understood how, how to cut them with it. But
right, how would you cut them?
Because what the argument was
Salakia, Pete, you can give me some soda if you get a chance, or you can bring the whole thing up here. I'll pour myself if you want, whatever works for you. Count the water. Make it nice so I don't have to keep asking. Babu Shah. Khan, what you gonna say? Salakia.
No, the argument was that the 12 tribes at that time in the book of Revelations would just be the saints or the believers in Christ.
Prove it.
Well, I mean, that's what their argument was.
No, so how did you cut it?
I cut it with the names of the tribes on the gate.
Right.
And you wouldn't be able to enter if you're not a part of that tribe whose name is on the gate. You don't have a gate.
Right. Basically. Sealed in that tribe. So what makes you that tribe? That is so stupid. So now we're clear. We got a bit of time left. Now we're clear on the subject matter, right? The subject matter is a race of people that from the beginning of civilization made a contract with God to have rulership over the planet Earth. Everybody's familiar. Everybody's clear. Right? So now we're going to skip ahead and we're going to get some of that contract, because there's a portion of that contract that lets you know who the 12 tribes are. Give me 28 and verse 15. Give me 28 and 1.
If I may, actually, I was looking for the scripture when the Northern Kingdom said we will go to a new land to worship a God.
That's in the Apocrypha.
That's in the Apocrypha, correct?
In Esdras. I want to say First Esdras, the 10th chapter. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 1.
Come.
Right.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High Power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
And we'll be above everybody else if we keep the laws. We honor the contract that God made with us. Right? We'd be above all nations on the earth. Right? That is the purpose of the law. Right? Keep going. Drop that. Give me verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High Power, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All these curses shall overcome thee and take thee. What does that mean? All these curses shall overcome thee and take thee. If you don't obey your contract, you're going to go back into a bad situation.
Right.
Right? That's what it means. Right? If we don't obey, if we have, let me give you an example. Matter of fact, drop that. We're going to go back to Deuteronomy. But I want you to get me Psalms 147 and 19. Oh, yeah.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word to Jacob,
Right?
and his statutes,
Right?
and his judgments unto Israel.
Unto Israel. Meaning what? We are the only people who got this contract.
Right.
What is the word? The law. That we are contracted to follow by covenant. Right? He only gave it to us. That's right here in the Bible. So when we say God is only for the Israelites, don't get mad at me. Get mad at the Psalms. Get mad at King David. Get mad at Moses. I don't know why you're mad at me. Because you were mad at David. You were mad at Moses. Remember, they hated you before they hated me before they ever hated you. That was Christ's words. Y'all hated him too. Read.
Verse 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation.
He hath not what?
Dealt so with any nation.
Now, what is his statutes and what is his judgments? What are his statutes?
Statutes are laws.
What are his judgments?
Judgments are the penalties if you don't follow the laws.
Now, give me an understanding of that. What's a statute and what's a judgment?
A statute would be, hypothetically, like in today's world.
No, give me a statute in the law and give me a judgment.
Okay, a statute in the law is, if you kill somebody, you will be killed. The statute would be thou shalt not kill, and the judgment would be you get killed.
Okay, Khan, that's a good one. Pete, what you got?
I was going to say, if you betroth a damsel and lay with him, you have to, you have to pay the 50 shekels to the father. To the father, regardless if the father don't like it or not.
You're not giving me what I want. Okay. Statute is don't sell drugs. The judgment is the black community.
Con.
Lexington. Y'all think I'm from the standpoint of we have a legal system. The judgment doesn't always have to be the priesthood. The judgment can be how the Most High wants it.
Con. Like the statute is no homosexuality. The judgment
Perfect.
is AIDS.
Right. Who doesn't have AIDS though? Even though they have a lot of gay parades. They have gay parades in our homeland.
Amalek?
Yeah. Amalek doesn't have our AIDS numbers.
Right.
Amalek sells drugs. Does Amalek have the problems that we have?
Not at all.
Right?
Because Amalek
Isn't
does
under
not have the judgments.
right.
Right.
That's what this is talking about.
Khan.
Understand. You've seen American Gangster. Was Frank Lucas okay? Frank Lucas was kind of stupid for that. But was Frank Lucas the only criminal at that goddamn fight?
Nah.
Who got in all the trouble though? Khan. You think him and Nikki, and if he was somebody of importance, Melvin Combs were the only people selling drugs in New York City? Khan. What happened to the Italians? Their children now run unions and construction companies. They were able to advance their society and their communities of being criminals. We have a contract with God that'll never work out for us. He'll make sure we get our just rewards. That's what happens to us. We're under contract to serve our God. They're not. They do it for fun. They do it because they see that it is wise. Right. That you gain something out of it. They do not get punished whether they do it or not. The Jewish man can completely turn Christian. Nothing bad will happen to Jewish people. We continue to be Christian. We'll continue to be destroyed. Which is why Kanye West and Kyrie Irving need to shut their goddamn mouths. Because our destruction is beneficial. The nations of the earth are more blessed. Think they're more blessed by keeping us destroyed. Right? Now, I just explained how many white people died and could have died because they left the black men who created open heart surgery and heart transplants in slavery. How about you help us get our nation back and fix our nation and allow us to have our culture? Maybe, like the brothers in Cuba, we'll find more cures for cancer. Maybe we'll find a cure for AIDS for your disgusting homosexual behinds.
Right.
But no, how dare you talk about the Jewish community, which is proliferating the what's called murder inside the black community? Keep going.
They have not known them.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them. They don't know. Nobody knows what we go through. Nobody understands what we go through. Right? As a people. Right now, drop that. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Because we're going to finally get this. Because I don't understand how y'all think y'all can actually be Israel when this never really happened to you. Because you try to say, oh, there were ships in Rome. Prove y'all were those niggas. Prove y'all that was y'all in Rome, though. Because I got evidence that wasn't. Read what you got.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
I will bring you into Egypt or bondage again with ships, right? When did y'all go in ships? What people were massively transported as a nation in ships? And notice, he's not talking about Judah. He's talking about all 12 tribes. Right? Y'all talking about an event that only happened technically to the southern kingdom. The event I'm talking about would have happened to all 12 tribes. But yeah, this has nothing to do with you. Keep going. We're under contract that this is going to happen to us. Where did this happen to you?
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Thou shalt see it no more again. What is see it no more again? What is the it?
The it is Israel, our land.
Well, Captain Zayak went to visit there like 5 years ago. So what is that talking about?
Rulership.
Okay, I like that a little better, but give me another word. I. An I word.
Oh.
Independent. An independent black country. An independent black state. You won't see that. Captain Zayak said he went to Jerusalem and he just felt like shit. Excuse my French. Like, they took him to one spot because the Demonicats don't believe that that's actually Israel. That's the spot that the Jewish man calls Israel. They don't believe that's Israel, Demonicats. But when Cap got to actual Israel, he just had a pit in his stomach like, nah, I really feel like niggas is fucking up my living room. Like, you understand what I mean?
Okay.
Like, yeah, no, like, y'all really are. I feel like this is my capital and y'all just making a mockery of it. Like, I'm the last nigga getting some money in my own house. Right? But that's its own thing. Right? Now drop that. Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
What does it mean to buy you? Khan. I thought you raised your hand.
No man shall buy you out of your slavery or redeem you out of your slavery.
That's exactly what it means. Buy you out of slavery, redeem you out of slavery. That's a law in the Bible. If your brother is waxing poor and is sold into slavery, you will buy his freedom. Nobody's going to do that for you. You'll be stuck in this situation. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what this is talking about. When did this happen to the Jewish man? When did he experience this? Right?
In Salakia, sir.
Khan.
In fact, he experienced the exact opposite, because damn near the whole world came to redeem him out of his calamity that he was in.
Forget about it.
You know, in World War II.
Forget about it. Everybody wanted to save him and see him in such a better state. Right? If anybody has any questions online, let me know. Keep going. Drop that. That was the end of it, right?
Concept.
No man shall buy you. Now drop that. Give me. Give me Jeremiah 14:2. We just gonna get this. Then we're gonna get a bit of this history. Uh, 14:2. You got it? All right.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth.
Right.
And the gates thereof languish.
Judah is in mourning and their gates languish. Why don't you see the Jewish man in mourning? The Jewish man's not in mourning. The Jewish man runs the earth. The Jewish man is stealing all our money.
And Salakia. And his gates do not languish. His
leadership is very strong.
Very strong. His
very
military
strong.
power is very strong.
Well, I don't know about all that. His military power is completely backed by the United States government.
Which is strong. He has nuclear warheads in Israel, one of the few countries that have them.
Right. It's a damn shame. They are not in any way destroyed or in any distress. They are not in mourning or languish. Like, really, right now, everybody will help them kill an old man, an elderly man. Christian nations that believe in Jesus. You know what Jesus is? That nigga who believes in forgiveness. You know what the Jewish man is? The niggas who go around making jokes about Jesus.
Right.
Jewish people don't like Jesus, but you got these Christian countries that will support them. Jewish people make fun of Jesus and call him some crazy sorcerer. But you got American nations that will defend them. Christian nations that will defend them. Now how backwards that is? Gone.
After they have organizations that call a fellowship with Christians and Jews, and they work together, go around this planet, you know, and quote unquote saving Jews, because it goes right back to the scriptures that you quoted earlier. You know what I'm saying? If nations help, you know what I'm saying? Be a nation, if you bless, you know,
Right.
Abraham and Jacob, the Most High will bless you.
Right.
That's what they believe.
Right.
They don't believe in Christ.
Right. And this is so stupid because I've heard of those Christians that go around trying to save Jewish people. Yeah. That is just the dumbest thing. Jewish people hate Jesus. And you know what? Where they get that from?
If I may, this is a multi-million. You know,
oh, yes.
And I'm talking about organization.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what they
Salaki, sir, you have, you know, these white Christian churches that
forget about it. Pray for Israel.
Right.
Very big with the Republicans too.
God.
The Republican, which I don't understand. I will never understand. Like, the Republicans love Jesus so much, but portions of them do not like Jewish people. But the Republican Party will give all this money to fund Israel.
God.
Which shows you the division and stupidity of the beast. And if I may, where does that come from? Do y'all know? Where does a Jewish man get a hatred of Christ from? Who taught Jewish people? Did Christians teach Jewish people? The original Christians. Yes or no? Khan. Hatred of Christ from? Yeah. Who's us?
I would say they got it from the Pharisees.
Give him a hand. Not them necessarily, but that group. Basically, the grouping of people that hated Christ were the ones who basically taught Jewish people. That's why they have that disdain towards him. Imagine Christian pastors talking about us. Of course, they'd hate Commanding General Yohanan. Commanding General Yohanan stole their congregation. Right? And that's the problem. Slaki, you can finish off. The gates thereof languish. Khan.
Oh, and the gates of thereof language.
Right.
They are black unto the ground.
They are black unto the ground. Y'all can switch black if you want. Okay, yeah, they are black unto the ground. Meaning what? Khan. All right, they are black unto the ground. What does that mean? God does not, what's called, the Jews are actually a dark-skinned race of people. Right. But what's called, but they'll tell you, I don't even know how they break down. This is talking about clothing. Right? This has nothing to do with clothing. Okay? Clothes are in no way mentioned here. They are black unto the ground. They are black in likeness to the ground. Right? That's what this is talking about. Keep going.
And the cry of Jerusalem has gone up.
The cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Who are they crying to?
The Most High Power.
Right. They're crying to the Most High Power. They're crying to the Most High. Why?
Because they're in mourning.
Because they're in mourning. But who does our oppressor cry to? I said it earlier. Who does our oppressor cry to?
No one.
No, they cry to somebody when they're in trouble. When the Palestinians are giving them hell, who do they cry to? I said it earlier. America.
Oh yeah, kind.
They cry to America. They don't cry to the Most High.
Right.
They cry to America.
Right.
Our oppressor cries to America. We are, right? We cry to no one. Our cry only goes up to the Most High. That's why it's saying it here. Their cry is going up. The cry of Jerusalem is going up because we only have the Most High to cry to.
Kind.
Right? Now we're going to get a bit of this history and we're going to find out a bit of the history throughout time. All right? There's a book by an author, a Columbia Temple University scholar, right? A professor, Rudolph R. Windsor, who created a book which basically details the travel of a history of ancient black races, including the Black Hebrews. Right? This book, right? This is a book made by this brother, basically tracks and shows what happened to us shortly after the time of Christ's death. I'm going to read a page out of it. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem, right? 65 BC is roughly 65 years or 60 years before Christ's birth, right? So Christ, although your Sunday school teacher never taught you that the Jews were at war in the entirety of Christ's life. The Jews were being oppressed like we're oppressed inside the streets in the entirety of Christ's life. Maybe you might question who the devil that Christ was speaking about. When they said, oh, Herod's going to arrest you, tell that fox, I cast out devils. Who's the devil he's talking about? Herod was an Idumean, an Edomite. That's well documented in history. Who is the devil that he's talking about? Thought devils were spirits. Thought the devil was Lucifer. Right? Somebody got a question? John, read what you got?
You were reading, sir.
Oh, Khan, Salaga. In 70 AD, now this is roughly 30 or so years, 35 years or so after Christ, right? After Christ's death. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. Now, do you know the reason for 70 AD, brother? Hiya Allah? Anyone online? Why did we fall in 70 AD? What was the event? Because an event happened. George Floyd.
Was it the death of Christ?
No, Christ died 30 years before.
Okay.
You're close. Anyone online know? What caused 70 AD? You know, brother? Anyone want to give it another guess? It was George Floyd. This time they were tired of CVS being burnt to the ground. Do you know?
I don't know.
La?
Nah.
The death of James the Just the son of Joseph, the brother of Jesus. For those that are not aware, 70 AD happened because they killed Jesus' little brother. You can look this up. His name is James the Just. The book of James, a lot of people think that's written by the disciple. That's written by Christ's little brother. Christ's little brother came into the truth. Let's give him a hand. And you know what's so sad? The scribes and the Pharisees tried to tell him, denounce your brother's crazy sect. No, they killed him. The people went crazy. And it caused 70 AD. You can look this up. Right? So after that, our nation was destroyed. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. What does that mean? There were a lot of George Floyds. There were a lot of Rodney Kings. There was a lot of sisters getting beat for no reason and raped. They were what's called dogs and fire hoses. Okay? During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. Okay. So now, we're going to go into this. So that's during the Roman Empire. And we're going to get a bit of this understanding of who the Romans were, of who we were during this time. And we're going to see if this fits our oppressor. Because they don't understand, the Jews aren't accepted wherever they go. We're always ostracized wherever we go for the most part. Right? Again, Khan.
Where we reading from?
We're reading from Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers. Right? So now we're about to get how the Jews actually saw us in society. Again, one finds greater dislike. This is Roman society. Again, one finds greater dislike expressed for Greeks, Syrians, and Jews in Roman literature than for Negroes. The Jews especially. Now understand, what they're calling Negro is not an actual Negro. That's talking about an African, dark-skinned people, and I'm going to prove that. The Roman writers who attacked the Jews are Milan, Cicero, Horace, Seneca, Martial, Juvenal, Persius, Quintilianus, Tacitus, Apuleius, Celsus, Ammianus, Claudianus, and Rutilius, Numantius. Cicero called them a people born to slavery and protected only by the contempt they inspire. Right? Their religion, he said, was a barbarous superstition. God will kill me if I have sex with this dog. That's a superstition to them. Seneca called them a most outrageous nation. We're above everybody. I don't care what you look like. I'm above Donald Trump. A bum in my nation is better than Donald Trump. You're beneath me. Celsus, descendants and of lepers and unclean persons. And emperors Claudius and Tiberius expelled them from Rome and sent their young men to the provinces to be killed by war and hardships. This is what they thought of us hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, right? Now, let me show you the difference between us and an African, because it existed thousands of years ago as well. If therefore there was similar strong dislike for Negroes, would we not have known it too? Dislike for Jews was not based on race. Coming from the East, Now, understand this. This writer is about to let you know something about people of that region from that time period. Coming from the east, they were so dark that many Romans took them for Ethiopians. Coming from the east, they were so dark that many Romans took them for Ethiopians. That's how the Jews look. The Jews look like Ethiopians. The Jews can pass for African. I didn't write this book. The objections, the reasons they didn't like them, were religious, meaning what? We want to say that we're the chosen people of the one true God, and he will never love you or accept you. So we'll never be able to integrate into, and never even want to integrate into Roman society, because we wait for a society where we're in charge and the Romans are our slaves. You can never roll over me like that. I always have it in the back of my mind. The minute you fall, I'm out of here. I'm not a loyal servant to you. Economic, I'm not putting my money inside your system. And political, I'm not voting tomorrow. It is a sin to vote, right? Voting will get you, vote for this. Get what's called, how about you vote to stop being a drug addict? How about you vote to stop being a whore? How about you vote to change your diet and keep the dietary laws of the Bible? That's your vote. That's your political stand. Jesus Christ is my leader. That's your political stance. Okay, so that's it. The 12 tribes of Israel are a black race of people that made a contract with God. All right? They were put on, according to history and according to prophecy, they were supposed to be put on slave ships back into bondage, the entirety of the race. Right? Now, this is going to be the last scripture. Give me Revelations 22 and verse, I want to say 15. 14. Give me verse 13, actually. Start at 13. We're going to start where we ended. Right?
Khan. Revelation chapter 22, verse 13. I am Alpha and Omega.
I am the first. Keep going.
The beginning and the end.
Keep going.
The first and the last.
Meaning what? He is the first and the last. He's the beginning and the end. He is Adam and he is Yahushua. He is Christ. Right? Keep going.
14. Blessed are they that do his commandments.
Keep going.
That they may have right to the tree of life.
Meaning what? That the thing that God blessed Adam with, the breath of life. Right? Keep going.
And may enter through the gates into the city.
And may enter in through the gates into the city. Right? That's how you get into heaven, by keeping the commandments. That's clear, right? 14 just made that very clear, right? That just destroys the Christian's whole argument.
Right.
Verse 15.
15. For without our dogs.
Our what?
Our dogs.
What is a dog? Do you know? A heathen. They are beasts which oppress my people. Everyone that Kanye West is talking about is a dog. And they oppress black people daily here inside America and across the globe. And they've been doing it for centuries. Keep going.
And sorcerers.
And sorcerers, your drug dealers. Your drug dealers will not see the kingdom of heaven. Keep going.
And whoremongers.
And whoremongers. Keep going. Whoremongers. Yeah, a lot of them, what's called all missing sisters, are over in Israel and Dubai.
Right.
I'm going to tell you that now. And some Jewish or Arab brothers, Arab sick cats bunker.
Right.
Keep going.
And murderers.
And murderers. They are such murderous bastards. They killed Gavin Cato. They will never live that down. Y'all killed Gavin Cato, and y'all would have canceled Kanye West. How about y'all cancel Hatzalah? That little Jewish ambulance. How about y'all cancel that? Isn't Hatzalah racist? I've never seen Hatzalah pick up a black person. Keep going.
And idolaters.
And idolaters. Okay? The Jewish man serves Mammon. That's his God. Keep going.
And whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
And that's the problem. You're going to get the punish with the Jewish man because you loveth a lie that he made. He will be punished for the evil that he's done. But why do you have to be punished with him? Why do you have to show that you're weak? That you're foolish? Right? Why does Amare Stoudemire have to go out with a yarmulke? Why does LeBron James have to apologize for what another man said? That's how you know this is a setup. Who asked LeBron James anything? How about this? Keep your mouth shut. How many times have you been told no comment, say no comment on this, no comment on that? You can't say no comment on this? You can't say no comment to your brother fighting for what he believes. I don't have a comment on it. I'm sorry. You got to talk to that man about what he's saying. Salaki, I know I said that was the last one. Just give me Revelations 3 and 9 real quick. And we're going to end it with this. No comment. You love a lie. A lie that you can just make your money and these white people love you. These white people don't love you. Look at Kyrie. Look at Kanye. Kanye was going to be the richest black man in history. Right?
Right.
But look what he's done to himself because he chose to not love a lie. Keep going.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie.
But do what?
But do lie.
But do what?
But do lie.
And that's another thing, y'all stupid Christians. Who's the synagogue of Satan that's lying and saying they are Jews? Huh? I don't want to have that conversation because you have to ask yourself who are the real Jews. Right? Keep going.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
And to know that I have loved thee. And that's it. God only loved one nation of people. One nation, one specific family. And that's the problem. God never loved you. God does not love our oppressors. He only loves us. And Kyrie and Kanye are opening that egg up. DC Youngfly is opening that egg up. Nick Cannon, I don't even want to talk about him because he disgraced himself. Right? But all these cats are opening up the earth for that woman to swallow the lies. And what we need to do is not, when they try to run, understand they're not us. They're not the men of the Lord. Right? So they don't have the skill and the power and tenacity that we do to do what we do. So you can't expect for them to do what we do. But with that, just pass it over. Give me 1 sec. Just recap. The children of Israel, or the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, are the people that God made a contract with to rule the earth. There are people on the earth, according to the Bible, not my own conspiracy theory. That's what the brother just read. According to the Bible, there are imposters going around saying they are the Jews, but they actually serve Satan. Right? Bible also says the Jews will be hidden in the last days. That's why that's why Jacob, our father, had to give us signs to know who we are. And that's another thing. You nobody knows who the 12 tribes are. Then why do we have signs? Nobody knows where Florida. Nobody knows where Disneyland is, but there's a million signs to Disneyland as you keep going. That don't make sense. There's signs to a place, but nobody knows where the place is. You're lying to yourself. You just don't want to admit the truth. And with that being said, we the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We've been teaching this information long before your celebrities started to. We taught your celebrities. And let me explain something to you. All your leadership, these bozos out in this world, would not know a goddamn thing about the Bible if it was not for the men that went on the streets to teach this. Okay? You got these other cats, right? What's called, who are inside these synagogues, many of them with white people, right? Beating their heads on tables. Why? Because they didn't know our culture. Because they wanted to learn from others. And they didn't know how to properly get this out to the masses. We did. Now people talk about it every day. Times Square, 42nd Street. That's all you see on the news. Oh, you mean them cats on Times Square? Yeah, that's one of the original camp spots. I think Lahab, head priest Lahab said that's where I first saw the camp, on Times Square. We've been out there doing this for decades so that your Kyrie Irvings and your Kanye West can finally tell this to people. With that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Harya Allah.
Clap it up for the class.
Oh, sorry.